Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. Tonight, there is a new twist in the Kenyan government's action against the opposition. A politician was charged with treason on Tuesday over the symbolic presidential swearing-in of opposition leader Raila Odinga, reigniting street protests in which one person was killed. A campaigning lawyer, Miguna, was arrested last Friday in a dawn raid on his house. On Tuesday, he was charged with being present and consenting to the administration of an oath to commit a capital offense, namely treason. That's according to the charge sheet. Demonstrators took to the streets in the west, the heartland of this support for Odinga, who maintains he was the winner of an election that returned President Uhuru Kenyatta to power last year. Also on Tuesday, the government suspended the passport of David Ndii, an opposition strategist. As according to a letter he posted on Twitter, a government official has confirmed the letter's authenticity. Now, for the latest developments in Kenya, VOA correspondent Daniel Schearf joins me live via Skype from Nairobi. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening.
Yeah, so first, what is the implication of the treason charge against Mr. Miguna?
Well, it certainly sounds bad, at least on paper. It is a capital offense, as they mentioned in the charge sheet. And, you know, I mean, technically, it could be something that could lead to an execution. I mean, if they were to actually carry it out. But of course, the High Court here in Nairobi actually ordered that Miguna be released. And his arrest, of course, was something that was extremely controversial in the way that it was carried out and the way that he was held by the police up until today. So it's whether or not, you know, anything is actually going to come from the charges is going to be very interesting to watch and see. What we have here is a standoff between the government-backed and the police on one side and the courts on the other side here in Nairobi. So it will be very fascinating to see where they go with this treason charge. It should be noted, of course, that the man who actually took the so-called oath of office, or the swearing in, as the opposition has called it, Raila Odinga, has not been charged. He has not been arrested. And of course, the Attorney General here in Kenya very famously in December said that if he did go ahead with that swearing-in ceremony, which he did, that he would be potentially charged with treason. That so far has not happened.
We'll wait and see. Now, there are concerns that the government was also seeking to arrest other opposition figures, but they were granted anticipatory bail. What does that exactly mean?
Yeah, this was quite fascinating as well. So essentially, they were expecting to be arrested. And so the High Court allowed them to be bailed out in advance, anticipating that they would be facing more serious charges that would keep them in captivity. So essentially banning them from being arrested, banning the police from arresting them. And so there were about a dozen of the opposition figures who were granted this anticipatory bail. But some of those, at least three we're hearing now in the local press reports now, have had their passports suspended.
Indeed, very, very unprecedented developments in Kenya. We'll keep watching. Daniel, thank you very much for joining us today. Well, that's Daniel Schearf, who is reporting live via Skype from Nairobi.